the Zoo with author and journalist extraordinaire, Mr. Roy Sekoff. Thank you for joining us here on the King.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, we're happy that you could dance with us.
I'd love to dance.
But now we gotta get the dish on the book. All right, yes. At the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wow. All right, Roy, I think that you stole my title because the title to my life is lack self-control. Okay. I totally lack self-control.
Did you get that from your teachers as well?
I got that from being Cuban growing up in Miami.
I'm from Miami
You're
too,
from Miami.
so I know from Cuban and Miami.
Coral Gables.
All my best friends.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
But I always tell people about the racial dynamic in Miami. There's Cubans are now basically the majority.
Correct.
Okay?
Correct.
And then are there any white people? When I go, do Jews count? Because that's basically the only non-Hispanic white people in Miami. I mean, there's a few, but
we're still there.
Yeah.
Because when I was growing up, I'm older than you, obviously, as we can see. So when I first grew up, it was like I considered it Miami North.
Right.
Right. And then when I was about 5, it became Miami. It was New York South.
Right.
Then it became Havana North.
Right.
And that was sort of the blend there, right?
Yes.
It was fantastic.
What is it now?
It is just South America.
Yeah.
It is. That's all it is.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. No, I was just back. I go back a lot.
Right.
And I was just there, and I went for a walk in Coconut Grove.
Right.
Kennedy Park. I was doing the Vita course.
Nice.
You got to stay fit when you're old.
Of course.
It gets ugly.
Gotta look good.
And I literally did the course, and over the course, I probably passed maybe 25 people. Not one of the conversations was in English.
Do you speak Spanish at all?
Un poquito.
Un poquito,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah,
That was it. Un poquito was my entire, and I can curse
Literally.
like a son of a bitch.
Oh,
do we
that's
say
good.
son of a bitch?
We
We're on cable?
we can bleep it, but not too many bleeps. But one bleep every once in a while kind of gives us an edge.
I gotta have an occasional beat.
Absolutely. Okay. So, lack self-control. It's about your life growing up in Miami.
Yeah.
Tell us about what it was like growing up in Miami. Give us some of the ethnic flavor of your early childhood.
It was fantastic. I really feel like, especially my high school years, Miami was the classic melting pot. Especially Coral Gables.
Right.
So when I went to high school, we had the students from Calle Ocho. That they drew from that group. So we had the Cubans.
Right.
Then we had the African Americans who kind of predominated, live in the Grove.
Okay.
Then we had the old money WASP, white people.
Right.
And then we had the Nouveau Riche Jews who were down south.
Okay.
And you put that all together, and it was this actual classic melting pot.
How fun.
And I felt obviously so blessed to be able to, because listen, I don't know if you feel this way, but you grow up in your own culture.
Yeah.
You kind of get bored with it at a certain point. You know?
Yeah, you want to see the world.
Right?
Yeah.
So suddenly I went to, and I gotta admit, because my age again, when I was in elementary school, my elementary school was segregated.
What?
Until 4th grade.
Wow. Like around what years was that?
That
50s
was
or 60s?
1967?
Wow.
Something like that.
Wow. Okay.
And so, terrible, but we didn't think about it at the time.
Right. It was just normal.
It was just, this was the school I went to, and then suddenly we integrated in 1967,
My gosh.
which was such an intense year, with all the things that were happening politically. And then 68, we had the riots following the assassination of Dr. King and Bobby Kennedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, a huge thing happened in Mexico too in '68.
Wow. So it was so growing up in that time, it was wonderful, but a little weird at the beginning, right? Then when I got to 7th grade, I went to in the Grove, and I'm not going to say it was inner city, but it was largely an African American neighborhood, and I found it to be incredibly appealing.
Okay.
So suddenly, I'm not going to say I became a cultural appropriator, but I desperately wanted to be black. Let's be honest. You know what I mean?
You had a Motown record collection.
Well, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
All I did was watch Soul Train on loop. That's how I learned to dance.
Okay.
Was watching Don Cornelius.
That's how he learned how to do the dance
Cornelius.
when we came back from
Don
commercials.
Cornelius, wishing you peace, love, and soul.
Now going back to those years, how did your relationship with your dad, shaped your career and your sense of humor, like what you're doing now?
Yeah, well, completely. My dad, but both my dad and my mom were what you would call characters, in a good way.
Hard to believe.
Yeah, in a good way. They were wonderful, but they were very personable, big personalities. As a matter of fact, it's a little nod to my dad here. My imprint that I did on the book is called Big A. And that was what my dad's nickname was.
And what does the A stand for?
Arthur.
Oh, okay.
So he was Arthur. They called him Artie. And my dad owned a bookstore and ran a bookstore across the street from the University of Miami.
Oh, wow.
For 60 years.
60.
Yeah, they were early. They were.
Which one? What was it called?
It's called Book Horizons.
Okay.
Next to the Burger King.
Nice.
Right across from the
I
main
know the
entrance.
Burger King. I don't know the bookstore.
Yeah. Well, if you went to school down there, you would have gone. So he had a big personality, and people really loved him and were gravitated to him. Very, very funny guy.
Okay.
And I think if he hadn't have been a child of the Depression, he might have. I sometimes feel like I got to live his life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he grew up in the Depression, and he just worked his ass off and made life better for me and my brothers, and made it possible for us to dream and to say, what do I want to be? Right. Do you know what I mean? And so that was my mom and my dad. And my mom was, how do I describe it? She was a wonderfully funny, insane woman. She was deeply hypochondriacal. The way I describe it is, some people, the old test is, do you see the glass half full or half empty?
Right.
Yeah. So my mother saw the glass half full of poison.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah. So she had a little bit of an edge. She's a little bit neurotic.
Quite.
But she never turned her anxiety on anybody but herself. Okay. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like if she met you, you'd love her immediately.
Right.
She'd want to know about you. She'd be asking about your family.
So that's where you got all this journalistic, love for journalism from, I'm assuming.
Here's the weird thing. I was never a journalism guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Until?
Well, I call it my zigzag life. A lot of people think it's linear. I'm going to go do this and I'll get this and then I'll do that.
It's curvy.
Zigzag, bing, bong,
Yeah.
So I never worked for the school newspaper. I never worked for the yearbook. I was a theater guy.
Okay. That's where you get this
I did
personality.
plays and I did that kind of stuff. And then, I came out here LA. I came out here to go to film school at USC. And I wanted to be a screenwriter.
Okay.
And in fact, I was a screenwriter for 8 years. And I had a lot of deals, but nothing got made. Development hell.
Do you still make money when you are?
Yeah, you make very good money. That's what's hellish about it because you get it's like a golden cage.
Yeah.
You're like, can I walk away from $200,000 a year?
Yeah.
But I'm frustrated as hell because nothing's getting made.
Right.
And so it's kind of a drag, right?
Yes.
But so out of the blue, long story, short version.
Yes.
I met Ariana Huffington, who hired me for an 8-week job.
Okay.
That lasted 17 years.